Guess what? Miss Hickman traveled to Egypt, and I am going to chop the top off of the pyramid, okay? So this ties into our geometry unit. So, man, it was a long trip to get here. But I see this pyramid, and I want to chop the top of it off to show you what it looks like, all right? So let's see if I can actually chop the top of the pyramid off. By the way, Miss Heard's going to love this because it ties into social studies. All right, here I go. All right, there's the cross section. Uh-oh. I think I used up all my strength chopping that top off. I can't go pick it up and put it back up, and I can't show you the cross section. So guess what? I've got some Play-Doh. So here's my Play-Doh pyramid, and this triangular pyramid has got a square base. I'm sorry that it's not perfect. You know me and Play-Doh. All right, so I'm going to chop it parallel to the base. Remember we said when you cut something parallel to the base, the cross section is going to take the shape of the base. So I cut it. There's the shape of the base. It is a square because the base was a square. All right. If the base was a circle, it would take the shape of the circle. If the base was a triangle, it would take the shape of the triangle. Okay. So anytime you cut it parallel to the base, you take the shape of the base. Okay. If I was to cut it straight down here, perpendicular to the base, my cross section is going to be one of the faces. Okay, so if I were to take my dental floss and cut straight down, I'm going to have a triangle as my cross section. So parallel, you take the shape of the base. Straight down, you take the shape of the face. Okay? All right. Let's try some more. But now I'm getting a little tired of being in Egypt. I think I want to go to the beach. Boom. So I'm chilling at the beach, and you know I'm a math teacher, so I got to do math while I'm at the beach. I mean, come on. Yes, my kids think I'm nuts. All right, so I have a cylinder. If I were to chop the bottom of a cylinder, I'm going to get the base, which is a circle. Okay? If I were to cross it this way, guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a rectangle. Okay? So if you were to take the wrapper off of a can of soup, you're going to get a rectangle. The top and bottom are circles. Speaking of circles, you know, I kind of want to do some formulas while I'm here at the beach. I want to do the area of a circle formula. I want to know if I were to have a piece of pizza at the beach, which I'm actually making pizza tonight, so I'll probably record myself making the pizza. I want to know how much pizza sauce I'm going to have to put. So I need to know the area of the pizza. So I want to find the area of my pizza. So area formula, pi r squared. Let's assume the radius is 5 and the diameter is 10, right? Because the diameter is twice the radius. But I just need the radius for the area formula. So if my radius is 5, 5 squared is 25. 25 times pi, which we try to use 3.14. By the way, Matthew's at the beach with me. 25 times 3.14 gives me 78.5. So that's the area of my pizza. Now let's say I wanted to know the distance around the pizza. Okay? Let's say I wanted to stuff it with cheese and put cheese just around the outer edge. Okay? I would need to know the circumference, which is a fancy way of saying perimeter for a circle. Circumference has 2 formulas. Check it out. Pi times diameter, or if you don't have your diameter, 2 times the radius times pi. Okay? Because 2 times radius, diameter once again. All right, so let's say my pizza, once again, has a radius of 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 3.14 is going to give me what? 31.4. Add a 0 to the end, or move your decimal to the right one spot. So there we have it for a circle. rectangular prism for just a minute. It looks like a purple stick of butter, okay? So if I were to slice it this way, I would get squares, okay? Because my base is square. So I'm slicing it parallel to the base. Now if I slice it perpendicular to the base, I'm going to end up with one of these faces, and I'm going to end up with a rectangle. Now usually when we slice butter, we slice it parallel to the base, so we can get little teeny tiny squares, okay? Unless we're, putting it in a cake or something, then we don't care what the slice looks like. But if you're slicing it to put on a piece of bread, you usually slice it that way. So there is a rectangular prism. All right, once again, this is a Pentagonal prism. Had to think for just a minute. The base is a pentagon, okay? And it's a prism because it has two bases, okay? So the bases are pentagons. The faces are rectangles, okay? If I were to slice it parallel to the base, I'm going to get little pentagons, okay? If I slice it perpendicular to the base, I'm going to get one of these faces, okay? My cross section will be a rectangle, all right? And I'm going to open this bad boy up and show you, once again, two bases that are pentagons, and then it has 5 faces that are rectangles. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys, next we are going to the grocery store, and we're going back to the classroom.
All right, my students, I tricked you. We're not at the grocery store again. We've done way too many grocery store videos. I decided to come to Lowe's because I like to look at the plants, and sometimes I like to just be outside planting. And Matthew wanted to come to Lowe's too. He can run around. Alright, so I got some fertilizer over here to help you have a deeper green yard. Hopefully you can hear me over Matthew. We have 10-pound bags and 15 pounds and 30 pounds. The 15-pound bag covers 5,000 square feet, and the 30-pound bag covers 10,000 square feet. So basically the larger bag is twice the size of the smaller bag. The smaller bag they have listed for $18.99, and the larger bag they have listed for $28.99. So I think it's obvious what the better deal here is. It would be to go ahead and buy it in bulk if you have that much yard that needs fertilizer. If you don't, then of course you would do the smaller bags. So let's go back in the classroom and examine these a little further. Guys, I'm in the tile section, and I wanted to do a percent increase or decrease formula with you guys while I was in here, because if you notice, this tile was $2.19, and now it's $1.99. So I have an original price and I have an on sale price, and I want to know what percent am I saving. So let's take those calculations and go back in the classroom and figure that one out. Hey, my math friends. All right, well, we're back from Lowe's and we're in the classroom. So now we're going to find out how much. Hey, math friends, we're back from Lowe's. So now we're going to find out how much we would save on that piece of tile that we looked at. Okay, what would be the percent decrease? So my original price was $2.19. My sale price is $1.99. Okay, so the way we find that is we use the formula where we take the new minus the original, divide it by the original, and then multiply by 100. Okay, so we can automatically see that we're decreasing because we're going to be subtracting a smaller number from a larger number. That's going to give us a negative. So 199 from 219 gives us about negative 0.2, and when we divide that by 2.19, we're going to get negative 0.09. But remember, I have to do my final step where I multiply it by 100. When I multiply it by 100 and I do some rounding, I'm saving about 9%. So that was about a 9% discount on the tile that was there. Which, hey, if they give you a coupon, let's say you get a coupon in the mail for 20% more off, you're adding on top of that 9%. So you're saving even more. All right, let's take a look at that grass feed stuff that we looked at. All right, so we saw a bag that covered 5,000 square feet that cost $18.99. We also found a bag that covered 10,000 square feet, but it was $28.99. Here's an instance where buying in bulk is going to save you money, unless you don't need 10,000 square feet worth of feed. But let's say you do, $28.99 is going to be better than buying 2 of the small bags, which we know 5,000 plus 5,000 would give us the 10,000 square feet. But if we were to buy 2 small bags, $18.99 times 2 would be $37.98. So $37.98 is a lot more than $28.99. So once again, here's where you would buy it in bulk and save. Now remember, I did tell you, I saw one the other day at the grocery store. I was in Publix, and I think it was Lipton tea, which we go through way too much tea in the Hickman household. The bulk size, the 48 pack, was actually more expensive than the 24 pack. So be careful. This doesn't always work. But in this case with the grass feed, it did. All right, guys, let's take a look at some angle problems that also came from your geometry unit. So here you have a triangle that's got an angle that measures 134 degrees, one that's 23 degrees, and another one that's 23 degrees. And they wanted to know what type of triangle this would be. Well, this would give you a hint right there. That angle, is larger than 90 degrees, yet it's less than 180 degrees. So this would be an obtuse triangle. And I'm just going to put the triangle there. All right, you had a word problem. In a triangle, one angle is 60 degrees and another angle is 20 degrees. The remaining angle must be how many degrees? Well, there's a total of 180 in a triangle. So minus the 60, minus the 20, that leaves us 100 degrees, which is also an obtuse angle. So it must be an obtuse angle. Alright, let's take a look at another angle problem that takes a couple more steps to find out. Here you have these 2 angles listed. Of course, they're variable expressions. And the question is wanting you to find the measure of angle y. Okay? Well, look at these 2 right now that are variable expressions. They are this orange one here and this orange one here. Those are vertical angles. Vertical angles are equal. So guess what? I can take those 2 variable expressions and make an equation, and then I can solve for the x. All right? So I have 4x minus 12 equals 2x plus 20. So there's my equation. My goal is to isolate the variable. I don't like dealing with negatives, okay? So I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides so I can keep my variable positive. Over here, it is very windy today. Over here, that cancels out. And here I get 4x minus 2x, which is 2x, minus 12 equals 20, because that's what I'm left with over here. Now I have a 2-step equation. I'm going to add 12 to both sides to continue isolating my variable. Cancels out over there. I have 2x equals 32. Last step, 2 is being multiplied by x. My inverse is to divide. Or my transformation is to divide. 32 divided by 2 is 16. Okay, now that's not telling me that these angles are 16 degrees. I have to substitute this back into one of those expressions to find out how many degrees this orange angle is, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this one, 2x plus 20. I could use either one, and I would get the same measurement. So I'm going to substitute in a 16 for the x. 2 times 16 is 32, and 32 plus 20 is 52. So that's the measure of this angle and this angle. But those aren't the angles they were wanting. They were wanting this pink angle right here, angle y. Well, look at the orange and the pink angle. They are lying on a line together. Okay, they're forming a straight line. So those are supplemental angles, and supplemental angles total 180 degrees. So to find this missing angle, I am going to take 180 degrees, and I'll write it down here, and I'm going to subtract 52 from that to find my missing angle. So the measure of angle y is 128 degrees. There you have it. All right, last problem. If you've got any questions over any of them that I did not go over, please send me a K-mail. I will be happy to send you a mini video, or I can send you back some notes on it. All right, so a little quick word problem here. A man that is 6 feet tall weighs 165 pounds. Use this information to predict the weight of a man that is 5.5 feet tall. We have to set it up as a proportion, okay? So over here I have the 6-foot man, and he weighs 165 pounds. So I have feet in the numerator, pounds in the denominator. I'm going to have to do the same for the second ratio, okay? I have feet in the numerator, and pounds is what I'm looking for in the denominator. Well, they want me to predict the weight, so that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use the variable x. His height is 5.5 feet, so I'm going to write that as 5.5 because 1/2 as a decimal is 0.5. I cross multiply, so 6 times x is 6x. 5.5 times 165 is 907.5. To isolate that variable and find out how many pounds that this person should weigh based on a prediction, I'm going to divide both sides by 6. When I do that, I get a little over 151 pounds, but if I round it to the nearest whole pound, it would be 151 pounds. So hope this helps, and I hope this was a little more interesting to you guys having a video.